Hello everyone, it's my brother Janming again. What are you doing in this altar battle? After trying it, I have a customer. Just leave 2 rubies. Each ruby, it's about 8 to 6 cards. After I looked at it, I found that it's not a pill that's very valuable and it's not so angry. Just tell me the reason. Grandma bought it so expensively that it was so expensive that you saw it. Every box is quite broken, so why? I asked if you could take it to my office and check what happened. After that, I will watch this picture. It's the first time everyone comes to me. Before I take pictures of some gemstones, I need sunlight environment. I always take pictures of this one. It's my all office. I look at IFC in a shared office because my office has a lot of gems first. A microscope, see it? My laptop has 2 gems. If I tell you what I can't see or what I can't see clearly, it actually seems like I have to tell you. So this is the first time I will show you for everyone to see using this microscope to see what happened to these gems. So before looking at it I weigh 1 and 2 pills. They are so similar. I am but 1 pill, Thai, almost a few pills, 6 to 100 calories are good and 7 calories are so many times. Observation, in fact, I have already seen some duanyi, but just because I see it doesn't mean that the customers can see it. But just because you look at it, how beautiful and big do you think a ruby is? It's so beautiful to make a ring and it seems so valuable. Sotheby's auctioned a Mozambique burned ruby for 4.5 million. In this case, the price of 1% of the ring is 45,000 US dollars. What is it? If you look at the gemstone at this angle, you have already found some. Anyway, thank you so much, Tammy. The 2 sets are Tammy. Let me shoot this film. You can trust me. Thank you so much, Tammy. Okay, I'll take a look at what happened with everyone. What happened? 1 or 2 pills are so spicy. Let's go first. I'll open a shop and get it out first. It's okay. It's so spicy. It scares me. I analyzed it point by point and it's so clear. First of all, I think this 1 pills is so obvious and extremely high. It may be 99%. It has been filled with original glass. It is a natural red treasure. I don't mean that it is really natural, but it is also called composite ruby. That is, it is almost called composite ruby. Slippery food is a common way to enjoy rubies. It mainly loves to improve the integrity of a gem and look at its appearance. Can you see this one? Another thing to mention is, okay, this angle needs to be filmed first. Let's talk about it. This YouTube system is so sure. It is very boring if you are not interested in gems, or I don't know, you can definitely fly because it can be really boring if you are not interested. First of all, do you see this round? It is very round. The first evidence is that you see such round shapes. The round shapes are bubbles. The characteristics of this bubble are so obvious. Is it so round? It is so round that it is enlarged for everyone to have a look. First, do you remember that it is not as round as originally planned? What's the explanation? This is because if the gemstone has not been treated, it is almost possible for you to see such round bubbles. This is a characteristic which is a key indicator of the original glass onion treatment because the treatment process is so hot. When the melted glass filler is filled inside, there is so much air. There is something wrong in the air valley inside, but there is air in the home. After cooling, it will become this. It's easy to understand that this is the first thing to rush forward actually. If you watched my previous YouTube, it's about heat treatment. There are several kinds of heat treatment. First of all, there are many kinds of heat treatment. The Zodiac teacher is pure heating and pure heating is just filling. The first one has a filler and the filler is not thin. Look at how big my bubbles are. There are a lot of them. They are not tied far away, but they are so obvious. They are all tied to the legs. The prototype is so difficult. I will continue to talk about whether there are many degrees. It's like mesh cracks. See these cracks and tie them to a large range of mesh cracks. I will show it clearly with everyone. Do you remember many mesh alliances? It's like a spider's web or like finger hair, and these lines are completely different from the ruby crystal itself. It will appear white under the light. It's like a filamentous spider. It proves that a natural ruby is a pure natural ruby, but there are many cracks in itself. During the heat treatment process, the glass along the cracks and flows into the cracks because the refractive index system of glass and buried ruby is very similar. Hey, as for what is the refractive index, looking at what I talked about on YouTube again, I filled it in and there were some cracks. It's so obvious, but it's your home. I use this type to enlarge the next stem. It's so obvious. After entering it, it will raise the gem and look down. It doesn't look so clean, but it's the folding place under the microscope. Scared, the flowing texture of the filler itself will be very clear. What do you deal with? Point 2. Hey, point 3, let me write it down again first. Do you see some blue or orange? The orange is not so obvious, but it is such a blue document. What's blue? Because if you look at this one, there are a lot of different lights. When you look at this one, there are also different colors of lights, but it is. That is to say the tie is obvious and a little orange is buried together. What is the blue tie? The reason is that the glass field is filled with the ruby itself, which is called dispersion. The optical phenomenon is simple, that is, different light rays enter and disperse, so some appear to red, some appear orange, and this blue dot is so obvious blue, that is, it refers to one of the characteristics of purple, blue and blue, because it is the third feature. I think it is too filled with glass. Is it true or false? I just saw the same thing. It's really difficult. Just think about it. Look, if you want to see it well, let me say it in blue and orange. See you. But the home is so obvious. The light is different. It is blue and orange and the cracks are seeping away from the sun. This is the fourth feature. Explain me. Can you see this black grain? Where is this black grain? Well, it is a darker color, and whether it is a transparent mineral inclusion or not proves that a ruby is a natural mineral, not a synthetic one. Of course, the synthesis will be much more beautiful because the company itself will find some rubies that are not too bad for heating, and the bottom of the machine itself is actually wrong. You saw this lump. It looks like a solid hamburger, but it may be too dirty inside, or it has too many patterns, or the color is too unbeautiful, so it is hard and heated at high temperature. What about the one? Let's briefly talk about using high and high temperature heating and then filling the glass for heating. It can't make the appearance beautiful, so it's necessary to harden the glass and then fill it with some glass. However, because there are too many cracks, we should do this first. The processing makes it look beautiful. Why don't I think a pill is worth anything? First of all, the glass filling has been greatly reduced, and second, it is actually very fragile. It's fragile and bursting. It doesn't matter if you are old, but it's really crisp because it's hard to burn. If you use it at a high temperature, it's easier to burn than usual. Generally hit an H. If you look at the certificate, an H is okay. Which one has been tied to heat and then finished glass processing? In fact, it's not valuable. Let's take a look at more with everyone, that is, whether you can see it or not. It seems that there are so many holes, and these small holes are not dusty. Look at the big ones. In fact, it's not that you can't make jewelry, it's not that you can't do it. Even if you do it hard, you have to tie it so brittle and sleep. If you use your fingernails, there will be flour marks every minute you quit your ruby light green. The bare flesh stalk is as hard as a dog, but if you use your fingernails, the fingernails are as hard as a dog. The normal system may be scratched because it has been heated too much, so it is not easy to say that the patterns on the crisp body are like precious stones. If you are patient, you will be blinded so quickly. Once you are blinded, you will look bad. Because the glass is so hard, some hard and some not hard, and the glass ignores the hardness, about 5 to 6. The red treasure is 9, so the surface of the ordinary stone is covered with some particles, for example, you. It's not easy to spend money on the food place, but it's easy to spend money on glass because it costs 5 or 6, so it's so slow. You will think, why is it one of the reasons why the stone doesn't flash? The second reason why it is worthless is allergy, because the filler is not tied properly to withstand some acids and bases, that is, when it comes into contact with lemon juice or some detergent. Maybe it will be corroded, causing the filling to slowly deteriorate. It may turn white, and it may become more obvious because if you always stay glued, because I don't know how you stay glued, you will withstand it. Will it change color? Will it become more and more obvious? Well, so it's all because of the low value. In fact, it's often a ruby when it's buried with high fever. If you are not afraid of high heat, you are not afraid of burning it. That is, you are not afraid of burning it with fire. But sometimes when you are doing jewelry repairs, you may accept a little burning window. Well, if you are wearing glue inside, I don't know if you have tried burning wax. I burn wax all day long, and your glue will dissolve as soon as it gets hotter. Then you and my precious stones will cause permanent damage, so one pill is definitely worthless. If one pill is about $10 per card, you may have 7 cards. $70, maybe hundreds of Hong Kong dollars. Sometimes I go out to buy gems. Suddenly, hey, it's so flat. It may be so flat that hundreds of mosquitoes or even thousands of 2,000 mosquitoes can already buy a good food. What are you buying? You may think it's flat, but when you look at it, it's so beautiful. When you look at it with the naked eye, it looks so beautiful and transparent, but when you look at it from this angle, you already have a control. Such a round control is definitely glue. Don't think about it. As for your words, the origin of the grain is actually interesting. I don't think about the origin of the grain. There is no need to find it. On the other hand, let's do it first. Let's go and turn it over. I have to teach you different lights. Let's have a look with everyone. Okay, why don't you explain me how to look at gems? The light at different angles sometimes looks at the smoke. There is snow looking down to the ground. The light is not the ruby itself at all. When the crystal is different from the light, it reflects different colors. Do you remember the orange color? You have to refer to purple and blue. It's so obvious to see, so it's also a characteristic. I wonder if you see it on YouTube because I can actually see it clearly. The blue, orange and red color are not very valuable. Well, it's probably a little more flat because there are too many clouds and it's so fragile. But what about the market price? Maybe $5 can already be used for one card. That is 40 Hong Kong dollars per card. So you have about 7 cards. So it's 7428203. You can already get some precious stones, but it's actually the same price. But it's just because there are many people who use these precious stones when they make cheap jewelry, which is sometimes very frustrating. It's like the natural gemstones I sell are all natural gemstones, but they live in the suburbs. Consumers can tell the difference. You really have to go to businesses you can trust. Well, I all understand what some people are saying. I went to Uncle Saturday's 7 blessings and 8 blessings. I will buy them because they are guaranteed, but I have to be careful. There are 7 pieces and 8 pieces. Some of them are sold at a good price. Maybe 1 or 2 pieces are sold at a good price. I don't guarantee that they are. I really don't know, but some of them are sold at a good price. They are really good, but they are all expensive. I don't even know how to avoid it. It seems that there is a Miss Huang who said to me a stone cabinet for 1 day. I hope Miss Huang won't be right and say that my writing is too expensive, so I will buy it from the second crystal shop, Diamond Words. After that, the words were so smooth and flashy. Because the coffee came around, it was so flashy that I gave it a try. I took the written test with a stone and checked with a big machine. In fact, I saw it. It turned out to be moissanite. The price was as low as 10 or 20 mosquitoes. In the end, it turned out to be sold for thousands of mosquitoes. After all, it was expensive for me to sell tens of thousands of mosquitoes. It must be expensive to sell thousands of mosquitoes, but it's fake, and I'm real. Sometimes I feel so frustrating doing this. Sometimes I have an expert called Baofang. What is the reason for announcing that there are too many fakes in the market? You can have a look at them when you have time. I think it's a pity because I am a good professional gem and spa watcher, but I don't look at red sapphire and sapphire, but I know that there are too many fakes in the market, but the profit is so high, but the profit is really not high, but the profit is really not high. I know that the profit is really not high, but it is helpless. Some people think that people are almost diverse. It's really bad money driving out good money. In fact, it's really sad, so don't talk nonsense. Talk about this stone. This stone, it's so beautiful. A ruby looks at it with everyone. Look at it. The head is black first with a mirror. I have already seen some bags. It's so obvious that a blister is round. I can tell that it is injected with glue. I look at the bottom. Alas, the blisters are even more obvious. There are some different colors under different light. Hey, first, the stalk is heated so sharply. Can you see these spiders in your face? Netizens have seen it, even if the microscopic neck can see some glue falling off. It's just a little secret to see whether the spots are natural and whether they are buried or not. It's a knowledge sharing. In fact, there are many stones. For example, if you look at artificial spots with a microscope or machine check, it's okay for diamonds, but it's more difficult for gemstones, but it's more difficult to look at them. I'll share them next time I have a chance, although they are too. You don't need to look at them. I've seen it all. I've already seen it, so it's hard to watch it with everyone. If it wasn't for everyone, you would be sleepy because these are always gems and few people really see them. Remember, be careful. Are there some gemstones filled with original glass? It can greatly improve the appearance, physical and chemical properties, but if you evaluate the value, it is worth it. But as for you, it is natural and unburned. What is the difference between gemstones or lightly burned gemstones? It's okay to talk about it. It's all said to be buried. Wait a minute. Okay, I am, but I still put one in my cabinet bucket. There is a few rubies. 6,000 mosquito water drops are natural. Let's take a look and wipe them clean. I don't know if you are bored. I'm so quick. Let's talk about it quickly. These grains are not a high-quality red treasure. See, the natural rubies are different. The same head first is so obvious. Okay, I dropped it and took a microscopic look. Wait a minute. Okay, let me say a few words to you. Hey, see you, Ginny Ruby. The chemical properties and chemical structure are all right. Let's talk about it so quickly. I'm sorry to bother you. Let's not discuss the color first. Beautiful first. Do you feel the same head? First, the particles are significantly different. The angles are different and the colors are tied first. What a significant difference. First of all, there are some purple or purple-pink colors in the gemstone world, which belongs to the Jiangyu family, which is red ruby. It can be very quiet and clean when you look at it, even if it is under this microscope. It is almost impossible to see any bags at high magnification, but to be honest, well, just because it has some history, I bought it very patient. You see a label called it is already so old, which proves that it has some history because there were so many rubies back then. It's not too expensive, so it's all here cut, love cut. The degree of positivity is very high, but there are some bags that can be seen. But because the relationship is too clear, I have to find some dirty places. There are some of the same rubies. Everyone knows that there is a lithium type which is tied to the bottom of a carp. You can see that although it has some history, some sides are the same as the head, but it is different to tie the sharp. It's so shocking, and the angle is a little different from the same head because this time I provide some good key information. You will see that there are some different refractions in the 1 degree, so it's a grain. Where is it buried? You can see that this one is definitely burned red treasure or treated, but it is very different from the same head first. If you zoom in at 1 degree, in fact, you won't see some big bubbles that look like the head first. Do you see them? They are so obvious. They have been heat treated, that is, they have hit a red treasure. What do you say? They have hit the head first. It's so obvious that one is hit. It's just that the hit is much stronger and it's too obvious to bury a sweet onion. So there are two different heat treatments. So one is purely heating and it's called filler. It's so quick to analyze it, but everyone can't demonize it. Has the stone ever hit it? Because it's always the case, and the heat ruby is so expensive that you usually can't even burn it. It's actually a problem if you burn it, but it's not easy to inject glue, stay in glass or cut it. It's so hard. You can't make jewelry, but what's wrong with my jewelry store? It is accepted that a piece of jewelry is buried with a gemstone, but it is also lightly burned with a gemstone. How much do I sell it? 6,000 0 mosquito cut 0 ruby is a clear natural gemstone. One is lightly burned and injected with glue, and the other is buried. To be honest, everyone in jewelry stores will buy edge gems when they see you. Is it first? If it were you, you would buy the edge grains. The right grains would be boiled and added with a few horrible cracks, and the left natural grains would not be the same. So, you really have to be careful when buying gemstones. Go to the trustworthy shop. What about YouTube? Let's talk about it again. It's really a long time. Let's talk about the contents. There are arrangements to talk about it. Okay, Tammy's afraid of you. 2 rubies. Do you think my analysis is a point? Do you believe it or not? It's really worthless. Well, if you have some gems, you don't know whether they are true or not, please feel free to take them to the shop at any time. Let's study it together, and I'll point out a shop. As far as Wellington Central is concerned, the ground floor shop on number 14 is paved over the upstairs shop. Zhong is more professional. If you have any gems and diamonds, if you have any marriage problems, or you want to use them for jewelry facelift, please feel free to WhatsApp. My Hong Kong phone number is 9858858. Okay, I will go to this 1 degree. If you like this piece, I hope you like, subscribe, and share it. Bye.